So hello, everybody out in the X Culture virtual world. Thank you for coming and joining us for the Academy. And let's call this a graduation ceremony because you have completed an entire semester of learning how to work collaboratively with people from all over the world. And I hope that this was an experience of a lifetime for you. Every time we go through this every semester, I feel the same way. I have this energy inside me from all the work that I've observed you guys do. And it's just, again, you guys just amaze me. Every semester, I am amazed by the wonderful young people that we have all over the world. And I'm so grateful to be a part of your journey. To evolve as a global citizen. So congratulations. And I hope that this is the beginning of a great, X Culture student relationship and that you continue to stay with us in the X Culture family. So just a quick introduction. Our Director of Operations is Rafael Tamashiro. And then our also here director of our coaching program, Professor Karen Lynden, and then joining us today, Dr. Anshu Arora, who is actually running a program that may help you guys get into the university. And for those of you guys who are completing the professional version of Academy, we are also looking to grow that part of our program, and we are going to be developing a alumni association, so stay tuned for that. And the rest of the people who are here, Ania, Leon, Tejas, Joanne, everybody who are here, amazing, amazing people, Louise, Rabia, you say, Pooja, amazing coaches who have helped us develop and grow our program to be what it is today. So thank you. Oh, and there's Amit. Hi, Amit. The other Dr. Arora is also here. So
hi, everyone.
Welcome to everybody. Rafael, take it away.
Thank you, Dr. B, for the introduction. So to start off our engines, we will start with a game. So I will ask for Tejas and Ania to start again. Wait a minute, let me share my screen.
Wait, Rafael, are you going to be sharing it? Should I share my screen?
I can share, no worries.
Fair enough. All right.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, I can see your screen.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, I would just like to begin by saying congratulations, everyone, for making it this far into the program. What you have achieved is something that's truly remarkable. So we would just like to thank you in this meeting and leave you with a positive note and a little bit of a happy memory. And in doing so, we just wanted to have some fun. And so Ania and I developed this game. So we can't wait to play this with you right now. So the game is called Know How. Rafael, could you just go to the next slide, please? So basically, there are 4 segments in this game. We will be focusing on languages, cultural behaviors, clothing, and festivals from across the globe. What is the point of this game? Well, this is a trivia game. So throughout the course of this project, you have interacted with students from all across the globe. Now we want to test your cultural knowledge, see how that's grown, see if there are certain other things that you can also learn, and just understand how the world works. It's just a very fun game. Don't take it too seriously. Just try to enjoy as much as possible. So questions will range from quiz-style questions to challenge-based ones. So just type your answers in the chat and send them out. All right, so could you go to the next slide, please, Rafael? All right, so the first segment is called languages. So this one is a very fun segment on different languages all across the world. So say or type hi in as many languages as you know. Let's see how many languages you guys know.
So for the coaches, you guys can actually unmute and just say it now because you guys are panelists and everyone else will hear you.
Yeah, also try to say hi in your native language as well. because yes, so like for all of you English speakers, obviously it's hi. What about the rest of you? Ania, how do you say hi in your language?
Mabuhay. Sorry, I had to think about that.
Yeah, mabuhay.
That's
I
cool.
was
Okay.
thinking that, Ania. I'm like, is it mabuhay? Because it's been forever since I was in the Philippines.
I had to think about it for a second. It takes time to process.
That's cool. So okay, so this is in Tagalog, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's Tagalog. I'll type it for everybody.
Okay. All right. We have a lot of like responses, and Riaz is like done it in two different Indian languages. First one's in Hindi, the second one's in Punjabi. For those of you who don't know, India has a lot of languages. We have some from like French, some from Spanish, some Italian, um, and a variety of languages. Some of these I don't even know myself. So these are really, really cool. All right. So could you just go on to the next one, Raphael? Okay. Next one is a little bit tougher. Say or type "I love you" in as many languages as you know.
Ania, let me do it.
Okay, go ahead, Dr. B.
Okay, that one I know. It's iniibig kita.
Okay,
That's the
a
harder
very
version.
long phrase.
Oh yeah, no, that's not the right version.
That's like the harder one.
Yeah.
Like it's simple. If you want,
Mahal
yeah,
ko is the other one, right? Mahal ko
kita.
kita. Okay.
All right, so we have certain ones in Spanish, German, Hindi, and Urdu, and then we have, I think, French as well. That's really cool. Okay, Rafael, how do you say it in Portuguese? Because yes, you speak Portuguese.
Eu te amo. Eu te amo.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So this is really cool. Okay, so I think Beatrix has a lot. She has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then I think there are a few others who also had that many, but it's cool to see that you all know so many languages. Okay, so could we move on to the next one, Raphael? Say or type "Merry Christmas" in as many languages as you know.
I saw Dr. B mouth it. It's correct.
Did
Dr. B.
I say it right? Maligayang Pasko.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so this is cool. So Emilia and Luis obviously said it in Dutch. Obviously said the same thing. That's cool.
How to pronounce in Dutch? I'm curious.
Fijne kerst.
Can you speak louder, please? I didn't hear.
Pronounced like fijne kerst.
Okay.
Fine Kirsch. Can you type it for us, Louise?
Yeah, it's in the chat already.
Okay.
It got drowned out by everyone else's comment.
Okay, so I love how Nikhil has just like typed "Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas" because that's basically, we don't really have an Indian phrase for Merry Christmas. So I think what the other people have done is they have literally translated the word "merry" and then just like added Christmas, because we don't really have a phrase saying.
But Jigisha said, she said, Christmas ki bahut shubhkamnaएं ho. And I think it kind of means.
And then Satya said Christmas ki bahut badhai, which I mean literally translating to Merry Christmas, but not very commonly used. We just say Merry Christmas. Okay, so could we move on to the next one? Say or type "thank you" is in as many languages as you know.
Salamat po in Tagalog.
That's cool.
Dankeschön in German. Ich kann auch Deutsch sprechen. I forgot that I speak German too.
Yes, merci in French, for those of you who learn French. Okay, Robert, since you were talking about Hindi and Urdu right now, how do you say thank you in Urdu?
Okay, so there are basically two ways of saying thank you in Urdu. One is a bit informal and one is like very formal. So the informal way is to say shukriya.
Yes.
And the formal way is to say aapki bahut meherbani.
Okay, fair enough. So, okay, so I think we have a lot of responses. And it's cool to see how many different like languages our little community knows. So this is only 45 people. The entire cohort had so many more, and it's already so diverse. All right, so I'll pass it on to Ania to talk a little bit about cultural behaviors and actions.
Okay, guys. So for this segment, your answers will just be letters. You don't have to type out the whole thing, or we might be here for forever. So Rafael, next slide, please. Okay, so our first question. The tugging of the earlobe signifies appreciation for food in one nation, but in another, it signifies the refusal to pay for drinks. Hint, these nations are neighboring. What are they? Tugging of the earlobes like that.
So your options are the follows, obviously A, B, C, and D. So India and Pakistan, South Korea and China, Portugal and Spain, and South Africa and Botswana. All right, so
The answers from the hint. Just make sure they're neighboring.
just make sure they're neighboring. Some of these might not be neighboring unless and until you know your geography.
Okay, I see only C's and A's plus 1B. Okay,
C's and
2B.
A's. So that's Portugal and Spain and India and Pakistan. 1B, which is South Korea and China. No one's going for South Africa and Botswana.
There's 1D. 1D. from Kevin.
Leon, how do you feel about that being a South African? Do you feel neglected?
I don't know. Like I have a feeling it could be, and then I don't even know it. So I don't know.
Interesting. That's very nice. Okay, Ania, do you want to jump into the answer?
Yep, let's reveal the answer. So next slide is Portugal and Spain. That's letter C. I remember C. Okay.
It was not C. It was C. It was C. You were right. I'm so sorry.
So this gesture is considered to be a symbol for confidentiality and pop culture, but in one nation, it's an action to caution others. What nation is this? So it's tapping of the nose.
Okay, so your options are obviously Ghana, Brunei, Argentina, and Italy. Also, if you're from one of these nations, just put it in the chat. I don't think anyone is at the moment, but if you are, that's really cool.
I've never seen someone tap their nose like this.
You have never? Okay. I don't know. I think it's very, very old, like in terms of confidentiality.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think-
actually, in America, that means that you're nosing. When you do that, like stop being nosy.
Okay, that's interesting. In India, that has literally no like significance. That's interesting.
Okay, so mostly B, Brunei. Okay, so let's go to the answer. It is Italy. That is letter D. Okay, next question. It's kind of long, the next question, so forgive me. So a psychological test conducted to identify behavioral differences between cultures found some interesting results. For example, it found out that some nations were way more likely to be home to extroverted people than others. Which of the following pairs is A, a highly extroverted nation, and B, a highly introverted one? The highly extroverted nation is the first one. Highly introverted is the second one. Okay, so I saw A's so far. And somebody said, of course, A. Why, of course, A? Japan doesn't seem like an introverted nation, though. Rafael, is Japan an introverted nation?
I think so. I think so.
But it has the busiest crosswalk.
it has the world's most populated city. It's
But
like
people do not interact with each other. It's kind of hard to interact with Japanese.
how do you not interact with people in a city filled with like 50 million people?
No, I mean they interact, but they are not that open.
Fair enough. Okay.
Been to Japan, and I had a different experience. People were
Really?
there, were very, very helpful, very nice to talk to each other. In fact, I remember in Tokyo, I was actually taken to the place by an old gentleman when we were looking for a place. So I don't think so Japanese are introverts. They're very nice people though.
Okay, so you
Oh.
says that in Japan people are generally friendly, but people
They are
generally
very friendly, yeah, and they're very good with directions. So in US, especially in New York, if you ask for a direction, they look at you and think, where have you come from, right? But in Japan, if you ask for a direction, they'll take you there. So I had a very good experience with
They're
Japanese people.
hospitable. Yeah.
Oh, I mean they are really polite. I have been there too, but whenever you have some not intimacy, but like a more deeper conversation or something like that, it's kind of hard to have these kind of interactions. That's why I think they are highly introverted. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so I guess we should reveal the answer,
Yes.
but I got mostly A's here. So, Rafael, it's B. It's Brazil and Nigeria.
I guess.
Are you extroverted?
The Japanese are not introverts, right?
Yeah, so fun fact, so Germany was considered an extroverted country, but Japan was not one of the most introverted countries. Apparently, Nigeria ranked up there. Also, yes, I don't think most people went for C because, yeah, India doesn't seem like an introverted country at all. But yeah, neither does Indonesia seem very introverted. So, yeah, for those of you who went with Brazil and Nigeria, you got it absolutely right. Okay, with that, we move on to the third segment, which is clothing around the globe. So I know that none of us over here are wearing anything traditional, but different people from all across the globe have traditional clothing. So match the photos to any three countries from the box. All right, so yeah, okay. So Somkane says Nigeria isn't an introverted country. I guess so, but that's just what the study said. This is not my personal opinion. Okay, so Rabia says the second one is India. Fair enough. I think that was a dead giveaway because that's like very traditional. So Indonesia, India, and Vietnam. Okay. C is Germany, as per Fabian. Um, Vietnam, India, and Germany. Okay, so everyone's getting India correct. But some people are going with Bali, some people are going with Vietnam, some people are going with Indonesia for the first one. And most people have gone for Germany for the third one, which I think was also pretty easy. But let's just reveal the answer. So, Rafael, could you just go to the next slide? Um, so the answer is Indonesia, India, and Germany. So I think we have like people from Indonesia who I think got it correct. So that was a little bit easy for you guys. So let's move on to the next one. Wait, Rafael, could you go to the next one? Yeah. Okay. So match the photo to the correct country. So we have three more traditional dresses over here, and you'll have to arrange it accordingly. So like number the photos as 1, 2, 3, and the countries accordingly. So 1, etc., 2, etc., and 3, etc. So people are saying 2 is India, Romania, India, Ethiopia. Fair. Romania, Ethiopia, India. Okay, so I think people are getting it largely spot on. So Rafael, would you reveal the answer for us? You're right. It is Romania, India, and Ethiopia. Okay, so could we move on?
Okay, so for festivals, so let's go on to the first question. So where is this celebrated? This is a gigantic mud festival taking place annually. Hint, this is the nation's birthplace of Taekwondo and kimchi. You don't have choices because it's very obvious.
Yeah, this should be a little bit obvious. Okay, a lot of people are saying Korea. Which Korea? Because you need to be a little bit specific over here. There's 2 Koreas. South Korea, fair enough. Someone's gone with North Korea. That's interesting. Okay, so
Let's reveal the answer. It is South Korea. And somebody thought it was Japan. Okay, Japan is not the birthplace of kimchi.
or Taekwondo. That's interesting. So where is this celebrated? So Anya, could you talk a little bit about this festival?
Okay, so this is the Air Guitar Festival. Hint, this nation is home to the Angry Birds and one of X Culture's client companies.
Okay, so they are not there with us this semester, so ignore that last bit, but it is still the home of the Angry Birds. This might be a little bit tough for you. There's Angry Birds. Okay, so home of the Angry Birds, i.e. Angry Birds World is located over here.
I've never heard of Angry Birds World.
It's an actual place. It was my like it
Even
was.
if I was the one that made this, I never heard of it.
It was really high on my bucket list when I was like 5 years old. Yes.
Okay, so
Brazil,
that's pretty much
Japan,
all over
Brazil,
the
Japan.
place.
Emilia's gone with Finland. Would you like to reveal the answer, Raphael? And she's gotten it right. It is Finland. So there is Angry Birds World in Finland. You guys need to go
Okay.
there. It's insane.
Last question, coaches. If you get this wrong, I don't know what's wrong with you. So what's the name? This is a commonly played festival during one of the most important wait, what? This is one of the most important festivals in Asian countries, and it is held during mid-September or on the 15th day of the 8th month in Chinese calendar. It signifies the autumn harvest. Don't put the country, you have to put the name of the festival. It has various names. Okay, so I see Moon Festival, Mooncake. Somebody wants to eat it. Yeah, that tastes very good. I still have
It's got
some with
so many calories, Ania. So many calories in that.
Oh
meal.
my God, when I saw the calorie
we
count,
have a
we
have a
out.
pizza size
One
of
cake
that.
has 861 calories. That is
I
insane.
know.
You know how much we win this at our school? There's like it's a size of one cake, and one person eats that for like
It-
1 week.
So many calories.
Oh, Jesus
And I mean, this is like this big is 800 calories. It's like,
Yes, you can eat like 2 and that's it. Your calorie count for the day is done.
yeah, no, that's it.
Okay, so next answers. Sorry. So this is the Mid-Autumn Festival, Mooncake Festival, Moon Festival, or Dice Game. By the way, Dice Game is only known to a specific portion of Chinese people. So if you know it, we're the same kind of Chinese. Okay, so that's the end of our game. Thank you so much for playing with us and congratulations.
Thank you, Ania. Thank you, Tejas. Now, we will have our guest speakers, Dr. Anshu and Dr. Amit. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you, everyone. A very, very good morning to all of you guys. Really, it's a pleasure to be here all the time to see this young generation. You know, this is so promising. You guys are doing so great. The kind of confidence that you bring into the table, I mean, it's amazing. It's really amazing the kind of things that you're doing, the kind of projects that you're doing. Great job. Congratulations. I know when Dr. Melani reached out to me, I was like, we are traveling. So Amit and I were traveling today, but then I remember my last experience when I was here the last year. It was wonderful. It was really wonderful. So I loved it. And I knew that I have to interact with this group. So even though we both came back like 2 a.m. in the night yesterday, and we're still feeling sleepy, but I wanted to be here. So that's the reason we are here for you guys. You are lovely people. Just keep up your rhythm going. Just keep up the way you interact, the way you come across, you portray yourself, just keep up that great work. The X Culture, I know, has done a great job with lots of people, and you happen to be one of the pioneers for the X Culture. So great job, you guys. Rafael, can I share my screen here?
Yes, I think so.
How do I do that? I don't see the sharing. Oh, there it is. There it is. I could see it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Can you all see my screen at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So when I was thinking about it, I thought, okay, let's talk about something in higher education, and let's talk about higher education in America, right? Somehow we are all connected to the American dream, right? We all want to pursue the American dream, and we want to know what's happening in terms of college education and America and everything. So I just thought about, and I pursued it myself. So I was like, why not just talk about it? So the topic today, of course, is reimagining, reinventing higher education. I'll be happy to take questions in case anyone has questions. So just go ahead and stop me in the middle of the presentation and I'll be happy, or we can have questions at the end, whatever you guys feel like. Well, I am Dr. Anshu Arora. I'm the Associate Professor of Marketing and the Director of Logistics and International Trade Analytics Center that's funded by the National Science Foundation. At the School of Business and Public Administration at the University of the District of Columbia. My email address is right here, just in case if anyone wants to interact. I'll be more than happy to chat back and to be in connection with you guys. All right, this is a quick list of what I've done so far, not that important. So I'm just gonna skip it, but I'll be, just talking, yeah. Just one more thing which I'd like to say is I'm an engineer. So that's my undergraduate degree, electrical and electronics engineering. And then I've done my PhD in marketing and technology. A lot of people ask me why, marketing. Well, I did my master's in business administration, and that's where I fell in love with marketing because being an engineer, numbers talk to me very nicely and very directly. So I was all into finance, accounting. But when it came to marketing, that was something that, that was difficult because in marketing, there is no black or white. It's all like gray, right? So silliest of advertising, the silliest of commercials work and people love them. So those were the kind of things which were like really hard for me at that time. And I was like, okay, this is something which I need to read more. And the more I read about marketing and advertising and social media and things like that, I just fell in love with marketing. So that's where I had my PhD in marketing and technology. There's a sort of a list of all the places that I've been to. Let me go further down. I work very closely with the National Science Foundation, especially in terms of grants that we have received in the School of Business at University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. For those of you who don't know what's UDC or University of the District of Columbia is, it comes under the DC government and we're directly funded by the government of DC or the government of Washington, DC. And what else? It's the only urban land grant university in the nation. Now, what does that mean? It basically means that whenever we get the federal funding, especially for the universities, they're mostly in the rural areas, right? Because universities are big and huge. And whenever the funding comes from the federal government, it always happens to be a rural area because that's where you get more land. When it comes to University of the District of Columbia, we are the only urban land grant university, and this means that we are right in the nation. We are right in the Washington, D.C., in the urban area. We're nowhere in the rural area. We're right in the downtown. I won't call it downtown, but we're right in the city. And that's a beautiful place. I would definitely recommend you guys coming to us and visiting us in Washington, D.C. You have my email, so make sure you are in contact with me, and I'll be more than happy. I know Lenani is saying she's going to come.
I have to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the doctors Auroras and I and Dr. Voss have spoken about this recently, actually, that we are hoping to have our first on-ground X-Culture Global Business Symposium summertime in 2023 and in Washington, D.C., if the university can host us. So that's one of the locations that we are looking at in 2023. So for those of you guys who are in the X-Culture family, you should look out for that invitation to participate in Washington, D.C.
Perfect.
At
Thank you.
University.
Thank you, Delani. So yeah, it would be lovely to host that event for you guys because again, when you connect with younger people like you guys, you yourself feel young, right? So that's where I love about all the energy and enthusiasm that you guys bring to the table. So again, we're right in the city, and we love that. We love the fact that we are the only university, only urban land grant university in the nation, the only university funded by the DC government. So we hope to see you soon next year. That'll be great. Okay, coming back, and I won't be long. So believe me, I won't take it long. I want to just make my point across here. Again, a lot of you think about college and you think about education in America. And one of the things which I've always seen people talking about is college for everyone, right? And then and many times I've seen the answer to this question is maybe it's not for you, right? A lot of people say, oh, you're not doing good in school, so don't even think about college. Well, there is a problem, right? Because college is always worth it. And I'm not just talking to you guys. I know you come from a higher economic strata of the society, but I'm talking about the guys who really come from the lower, poor economic strata of the society. And for them to, if someone tells them, then this is very demotivating, right? And that's what we're talking about here. So this is one of the studies that was published by Stanford University's team, by Dr. Shetty and his team. And he was talking about the chances of doing well as your parents. So in 1940s, the study, this is again about the fading American dream. Again, American dream is still existent, right? But in 1940s, the chances that you'll do better than your parents was 90%. But today they have actually decreased. They've gone down to 50%. Again, it's not very encouraging, right? Because obviously things have changed. The things post World War era and everything. So there are lots of economic factors and global factors to consider. But this is one of the studies that I was looking into. And this was yet another interesting study. I'm sure if Vas was here, he would have loved it. This is where, again, I'm talking about your chances when you come or when one comes from a poor economic strata of the society. And the chances of reaching to the top tier in US is 7.5%, whereas in Canada, it is 13.5%. So approximately double the chances of your success is more in Canada versus US. So again, if you ask me, I'm not fine with it. I don't think it's cool because somehow I feel that Canada is actually, is actually looking at us and saying that we are better than US, which is like what happened to the American dream. So that's where we are at. Even though in America we think we are the best and everything, but things are not that great as of today. And then again, I want to talk about this person. His name is Dr. DeVries. He is, just to tell you a little background about him, he graduated from the university in Denver in Colorado. And when he came from a very poor economic strata of the society, very, very poor family. The first college generation, he was the first in his family to go to college, went to a high school which was not preparing for the college, not a college prep high school. But this person, and then he worked multiple jobs. He did remedial math. He could not understand what was happening in college. But then, he stuck to the college. He finished his degree in 6 years. And today, as we know him, he's the Vice Dean of Clinical Affairs and the President of the Clinical Practice Association at Johns Hopkins University. And he is one of the best cancer doctors in the country and worldwide. So what I'm trying to make a point here is that even though this person came from a very poor strata of the society, not prepared for the college at all, but this is what the college education has done to him. It has done wonders to him. Suddenly he has changed the world, he has changed his own self, and he's having a great, great impact, not just within the US, but worldwide. So things happen when you go to college, and that's why college is for everyone. Again, more statistics here. So this is where it's talking about adults with tertiary degree earn 56% more on average than those with upper secondary education only. So again, making a point that if you come to the to the higher levels, and if you're doing a high degree, and I'm not just talking about bachelor's, but even graduate and PhD or whatever fields that you go into, your chances of success is much more. And there has been study where it says that you really give more to the system than you take out of it, especially when you go for a higher education, right? So again, yes, college is for everyone. And again, the reason I says college is for everyone, and so please don't listen to people if they call you or say, hey, you're not doing good in school or whatever, so don't even think about college. And this is a very popular statement, by the way, in the US. I'm not sure about other parts of the world. I know in India, especially, I'm from Delhi. So I know my parents pushed me a lot. So yeah, obviously, this is not true in India because parents are invested in their kids' education. But I'm talking about the entire, the world, and especially if you're from the poor strata, you will find people telling you, no, college is not for you. You're not doing well in school, so let's not even think about college. But the reason I'm saying that, college is for everyone is because, think about those rich kids and the rich parents. Do you think they tell the same thing to them? I mean, you have seen the college scandals, right? You've seen the side door entries that happen for Ivy schools and the scandals and the entire thing, the admission scandal that has happened for those Ivy leagues and for the big universities. So obviously the rich parents don't tell their children that the college is not for you. So that's not even a statement to make when it comes to college degree. This is one of the interesting figures that I found, and I thought it's worth sharing. So what means here is that if you went to college in 1980s, right? And at that time, the tuition was about $800 a year. Believe it or not, it was very cheap. And if you're working, let's say you're working your way to college and you have a minimum wage of $3 an hour, then basically it means that you will take about 6.5 weeks to work your way into college, or 8.7 weeks if you're working part-time. Compared to that today, and I'm taking the lowest lowest figure possible. So 2018, or you can say 2021, I've just put a $10,000 here. Remember, in colleges like Duke or Ivy Leagues, Harvard or MIT, this is like 7 times, right? Figure is much, much higher. But I'm just talking about, let's say if you're a DC resident and you come to the University of the District of Columbia, which happens to be in Washington, DC, and it's funded by the DC government, and even the federal funds come to us, probably then you're looking at this affordable tuition of $10,000. But again, the minimum wage as of today is around 7.25 per hour. So even with this lowest tuition that I'm talking about, the most conservative number here, and you will still take 35 weeks to finish college. I mean, to work your degree and to work through your degree. So basically, if you're working and finishing college, you will still have to you'll have to work for 35 weeks, which is a huge number. And what it tells me is that there are not enough hours in a day or not enough weeks in a year to really work your way through college as we talk about it today. So that's where the things have gotten very complicated. Again, I know when people, especially when parents are investing in the kids' education, things are different, right? But if you have to work your way to college, then these are the numbers. And I'm talking about the overall population. I'm not just talking about the economic strata, which is well prepared and which is like privileged, like most of us here in the meeting. But I'm talking about the population which is not as privileged. I'm talking about the population who cannot afford their college degree and they got to work. So if that is the population that one belongs to, then think about this number, which is so high for us to even achieve the American dream and work our way to college. And so what changed? Why has this change happened? I mean, why was it that the college degree, it was easier for a person, especially again, coming back, because we really at this point in time, when we talk about social responsibility and sustainability and things like we talk about changing the lives of people, especially poor people, it's important to see these numbers, because if anyone is trying to work their way for college and they're not funded by their parents, they're not as privileged as you guys, then these numbers are very important. And basically what these numbers tell me and tell us is that, in 1980s, it was easier for us to work our way to college, right? But in 2018 or 2019 or even today, things have gotten so worse and so have come to a point where if you don't have an investor who is your parent or anyone, then really working your way for college is extremely difficult, not doable, right? So what has changed? I mean, why has this sudden change happened from 80s to today? And well, I guess the change has happened because in 80s, there used to be an angel investor. And that angel investor happened to be the American people. So what happened was in 80s, there was a lot of investment which comes into education. And for example, this is an example of Colorado, the state of Colorado in the US. And basically what this is saying is that in 80s, about 60% funding in the education came from the state and the federal funds, and the student was only responsible for around 40% of the education. Things were so better at that time that in some of the states it was about 60 to 80%, which means the student was only responsible for 20 to 40% of their own investment. So this was where, now if you look at 2020s, and obviously we can say things have happened, economic, global issues and, the post-World War era and everything else. But keeping that into mind, even with that numbers, if you see here, scenario has changed in a very worst way, because now what has happened here is that the government or the state funding or the taxpayers' money, it's only reduced to 30%, whereas the student now is responsible for about 70% of his or her education. And that's where things have changed. And again, this is not something that I know if you're looking for your parents funding you, then this is not something that bothers you, right? But if you're looking at something where you are funding for your own education, then things, then it looks really bad, because now you're responsible for more amount or more expenses or more debts and everything else. So that's a little disturbing. And again, what I would like to say here is that things need to change, right? I'm talking about myself. So sort of it feels like that we achieved the American dream, but we pulled away the ladder for our future generation to achieve the same American dream, because somehow there's this systematic disinvestment that has happened over the years, and no one is even questioning about it. I mean, this is what things have come to. So it's a wake-up call, really, for the taxpayers, for the American people, for I would say the lawyers and the legislators, that we now need to really invest in our future. We need to invest in the education back again. We need to change this number. We have to change this dynamic the way it was before. We need to make sure that college education is for everyone, not just in terms of spirit, but also in terms of funding that we give to the education. And I know things are changing. I know things are coming to a place where the American dream is again a possibility. It's not just a dream, it's actually a reality now. So I know things, there is an investment coming back into the system. The future looks bright. But again, think about, whenever you think about your own education and your parents funding it, do thank them. Do tell them that a big thank you, you're funding us, because a lot of people worldwide don't have that particular thing. They end up with big, big debts, and they end up paying for the tuition, which is enormous, right? So be thankful for what's happening with you, because again, as I said, I want to bring this reality to you guys, but I want to tell you that things are not as bright for many of us, or for many of the people all over the world. And they look at a college and they're trying to go into the college. It's not just the time, it's not just their own investment in terms of effort and time, it's also money, right? And as I said, things are changing, and we are having more conversation about education and investment and the government, and not just the government in the US, but worldwide, that things are now looking brighter. Now, that was actually my last slide. I just want to show you these slides because really this is what brought me back in here. I saw this was the last meeting that we had the last year. And I just took some of the pictures. They look just amazing. And I was like, I have to come back. So, well, thank you guys. I know Dr. Amit Arora has more to add, but really I don't want to leave you with a gloomy picture. I want to just make sure that you understand that if you happen to be in the top 5% or in the part where your education is funded by someone else, do thank those people, because really, things are difficult for people who are trying to fund their own education, especially in today's world. So once again, thank you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question.
Yes.
A student wants to know, being from a low earning family, how should this person prepare so that they can get admitted to a US university?
Great question. And that's what I was saying, things are changing. So what's happening today is universities like ours, ours happens to be the university that's funded by the federal and by the state dollars, right? We are getting investment in the education, which means that tuition is getting more cheaper, especially if you're looking at state funded colleges. So if you're looking at University of Maryland, if you're looking at even Georgia Tech, I know there's a lot of investment in terms of education. So if you get scholarships, I know these Ivy Leagues will not give you merit scholarships, but the universities that I'm talking about, like for example, University of the District of Columbia, my university, we give funding to people, especially from the lower economic strata of the society, and we try to get them to, especially the DC residents. I know we are highly, highly focused on DC residents and changing the dynamics of DC. Again, I don't know if you guys know DC. I know it looks like the nation's capital, but we do have areas and pockets in DC which are not as economically advantaged. And that's the areas that we always target when we look at education. So I know universities like ours are working, especially if you're looking at the state-funded universities. University of North Carolina happens to be one other example. These are the universities that you should be applying to. This will give you the same level of education. Believe it or not, Ivy League, I know it looks great, but really you can actually achieve that Ivy League in your graduate studies. You can go for your PhD, and that time you'll get more scholarships, more funding from these big universities. But for your undergraduate education, I would recommend coming to a state-funded college and finishing your education, because it's just the same. And many times it's better, because I know in our university, it's the professors teaching the students. But in the Ivy Leagues or the bigger universities where you have a class of 300 students sitting in front of us, you will have more RAs and TAs teaching, or maybe the PhD students teaching the university, teaching you guys, but not the professors. Take it from me. I've seen it, I've gone through it, so I know that's the reality, right? But yeah, I mean, you have options. And that's the reason we have this Prep for University program that we do with Dr. Vastaris. It happens every other Sunday. And we meet, especially the students who are applying for universities in the US. And not just US, I know a lot of people are applying even in Canada and Spain and Europe. And we just try to guide them through the process. This year, we had a cohort of about 5 or 6 students. It was much easier to manage because there was a lot of one-on-one guidance that we had provided to them. And this is only for the high schoolers or the seniors. So if you are our 12th grader, that's the program for you. Amit, I know you want to say something, so I'll give it to Dr. Amit Arora. Any other questions? Lilani, great question. Thank you. So at this point, I'll give it to Dr. Amit Arora, and he'll take the conversation forward.
Right. Thank you, Anshu. Thank you, Dr. Leilani Bomis, for inviting me here once again. It's a great group of students and professors over here that I see. Some of them, I know them for many years, Vas, Leilani, Karen, through our various conferences, AIBSE. So it's just great to be back here amongst all of you. So thank you for the invite. A quick introduction about myself. I am Amit Arora. I'm an associate professor of logistics and supply chain management at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, DC, USA. And greetings, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the world you are in. It's really great to be with all the young minds over here and to see, what all great work you are doing, trying to be culturally sensitive and learning about different cultures from different parts of the world. So that's really a culturally diverse group that you have over here. And I'm really fortunate to be a part of this. So I was thinking, what I should be talking about, when I meet you guys, all of you today. So I thought, let me just focus on what I've learned so far in my 40+ years that I've been on Earth, and share some of the things that might be beneficial to some of you or to all of you. So a little bit of my background. So I was born and raised in India, and all my early education and my undergrad and grad school was all in India. And then I came to US to do my PhD. So my background, educational background is my undergrad is in mechanical engineering, and I did my graduate studies in the area of energy and environmental management, and then I joined the industry. So I'm talking about way back about late 90s. That's when the Indian economy was actually opening up to the world. So that was like 97, 98. And I was a fresh graduate at that time, fresh from the college. And my dream at that time was to join an automobile company, right? I was fascinated by cars, and there were lots of opportunities, a lot of foreign manufacturers. They were setting up their production plants in India and their facilities in India. So I just wanted to join an automobile industry. And so my first job was actually as a research assistant at one of the top engineering schools in the country. And I was working on all these internal combustion engines, doing all the testing. So it was a research gig that I did for about a year. And then I got the opportunity to apply to Hyundai. So Hyundai is, let me ask the audience. So where are the headquarters of the automobile company Hyundai? Where is it located?
South Korea.
So some are saying Japan. I can see in the chat, someone said South Korea, right? So at that time, yes, you're right, South Korea in Seoul. So at that time when, the company came to India, no one knew about Hyundai, right? So I was amongst one of the first employees. So even though it was a big multinational, but in India, it was like a startup company, right? So people did not even know about Hyundai. I remember the first time we had to organize a dealer conference. So we went to a hotel and, we said that we are from Hyundai. The hotel management, they thought that we are from Honda. So Honda, the Japanese company, right? And they were really impressed. Oh, there was a very good treatment. And when we handed over our business cards, it had the Hyundai logo and no one knew about it. It said, where are you from? Right? So that was like a startup company in India. And we were a bunch of engineer trainees and management trainees. And that's how I actually met Anshu there. We were all, we had these big ambitions, big dreams to work in this big company, even though it was like a startup in India, and take it to the next level, right? So we dirtied our hands in everything. The good thing about working in a startup or a small company is that you get to know different aspects of the business rather than, joining a big established organization where you are just one amongst 1,000 employees. Now here we were one amongst the first 10 employees, right? So you can imagine what all we used to do. And we were all bachelors at that time, right? So no family responsibilities. And so what I learned during that time was make a good network, right? So that's very, very important for everyone. Make a good network, hardworking. We all say that we are hard workers, right? No one will say I'm a lazy worker, right? So that's a given thing. But then apart from being a hard worker, you've got to be a smart worker, right? So that's the key. How to get things done in a smart way. If, we have 24 hours in a day, right? So how to squeeze in everything so that you are able to work smartly. So that's what I really learned. We used to be up till like 4 o'clock in the morning trying to, prepare for presentations. So, and we all like work really well with each other, right? Trying to learn different aspects of the organization, different functional areas of an organization. That's very, very important. Not to get just stuck in one part of an organization. So that's very, very important. For future growth, that's what's going to matter. The more knowledge areas you get into, the better it's going to be for all of you, right? So this is what I learned in my first job at Hyundai. I moved on. So I worked at Hyundai for about 7 years, got a few promotions, and I was doing pretty well. And then I thought, okay, let's move on. What's next, right? So, and then I remembered, people were really, the first meeting I had with the hotel management about organizing a conference, they were really happy about Honda. So I said, okay, that's my next step. I should be working for Honda. And Honda had, again, it had established its presence in India at that time. So I said, okay, let's work for Honda. I applied for Honda, I got a job over there. And so I was told that I will be in the after sales division. Right. So you've got different divisions, you've got the marketing, sales, after sales. So I'll be in the after sales division, but I did not know which area in after sales division. There are lots of sections over there. So I was put in a section, in charge of a section, which was called the warranty section. And that was my first time. And I got to know that handling warranty is a back-end job, right? So it's like a back office thing. No one really cares about it. So I was really disturbed. Now, what do I do? This is not in the limelight. It's not in the front. So it's a back-end job. So what should I be doing? So I remembered in Hyundai, I had a vice president, and during one of his farewell speeches, so he was retiring. So he told me that, no job is too big or too small. It's the way you do the job makes it big or small. So those words were there. So I remembered that and what I'd learned from my Hyundai days. And I said, okay, this is a back-end job, but then the way I'm going to do this job is going to make it big or small, right? So if I continue it as a back-end job, then no one is going to ever notice. So I had a small team of about 4 or 5 people, and we came up with some new ideas, data crunching. So that's what we did. We had all the warranty data of all the warranty claims from all over India. Now we should be doing some data crunching, and we should be able to predict using that data, which warranty part is going to fail, which is in the top 10. So we came up with all those reports, and we made a presentation to the management. And that was like an eye opener to the management that, hey, you've got this back-end job, but there's a rich data over there, which no one has ever presented. So we came to the forefront, and we started auditing dealers and everything, fanning out all over India, going to all these dealerships. So what did I learn from here? I learned that, practically applying what advice that I had got. No job is too big or too small. It's the way you do the job that's going to make it big or small. Right? So I thought, let me just share this all with you. What else? So you've got these we work for different organizations, we apply for different universities. So what is that one thing that we are all looking for? What does the university look for? What does the organization look for when, to hire or not to hire the prospective employee, or to have that as a student in your university? What I've learned is it's the fit, whether it's the organizational fit that I have, or is it the university fit, right? Most of us, we talk about what can the university do for me, or what can the organization do for me. There's one very important thing: what I bring to the table, what I can do for the university for which I'm applying, what I can do for the organization to which that I'm applying. So that's going to be a key thing in differentiating you from other applicants. So make sure when you're applying for a university, or you're applying for a job later on in life, what you can do for that organization or that university, that you should definitely put that out in your interview discussions, right? And the attitude of a person, right? We should all have that learning attitude always, right? It's not that, hey, I've had like 30 years of experience in the industry, and 20 years in the academic world, and 10 years, and so I'm like the Mr. Know-all, right? If you have that, then that's the end of it, right? So that learning attitude, always trying to learn new things, this is what a university is going to look for, whether you have the learning attitude. This is what any organization going to be looking at, whether you have that attitude, the learning attitude, and you'll be able to fit into the culture of the organization. Right? I can just go on and on, but I would like to end by saying that, in Martin Luther King's words, that if you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, you should crawl. Do whatever, but keep moving forward, right? So that's the whole attitude that we should have. It's our responsibility that, the next generation, my next generation, should be better than my current generation, right? So this is what we practice in our family, in our city, in the nation. That's how a nation will progress. If every family progresses, the nation's progress, right? So always keep that in mind, that what can I do for the next generation to be better than mine? Whether it's financially, intellectually, whatever, culturally, the next generation should always be ahead of the current generation, right? So just keep that in mind, just keep moving forward. That's the key to progress. And that's what we all are into, right?
Thank you so much to the doctors, Arora. I mean, amazing, amazing advice to our students. And by the way, if you guys want to work more directly and exclusively with the doctors Auroras, they are with Dr. Taraz working on a program called Prep for University. Dr. Anshu put the website in there. They're finishing up for the year now, but they are going to be starting again in April. And this time they are going to be advising 11th and 12th graders. So if you are going to university and you really want to have guidance from some of the best in the industry, and I'm telling you, when Dr. Voss and the Dr. Aurora's, Doctors Arora talked about this with me, I'm like, wow, I had like nothing to contribute because you guys are so amazing in this. So again, if you guys want that, very exclusive, very, hands-on guidance, please check them out for Prep for University at our X Culture page. Okay, thank you so much. And
just one thing I'd like to add here. The reason this program was born is not because, there is no money. I mean, there is money because you'll have to pay something. And the reason there's that minimal amount or the nominal amount of money is because we want you guys to be accountable and answerable if you are a part of the program. We just don't want you to be in a program which is like free, and then, free has a different connotation for everyone. So being a marketing professor, I know that. So if there's a little bit of money involved, it's always like you value the program more. So it's a very nominal amount of money involved. And I know that Dr. Taras gave a lot of scholarships this year for the students, because we wanted to have some students to start this program. And we want to have the high achievers. So the students, when they came to us, they were like, we have the best SAT scores, we have the best ACT scores, we have every information. Our GPA is like 4.2, like completes, a wonderful score. But then how do we still make sure that we get into these Ivy Leagues? Now, that was a big question because even, this is so subjective. The criteria for college admission, especially in the US, is very, very subjective. You may have the best GPA, you may have a full, GMAT, a full SAT and ACT scores. Still, the chances, we still cannot say that you'll get into that bright, best university and the university that you're wanting to get into. So that's where we started this, because I know a lot of things come from the college, or from the essay, right? So the essay that you write, your entire portfolio needs to be like a wholesome thing. It should be like a holistic portfolio and not just focused on your numbers or whatever you get. And that's the help that we try to provide to our students as a part of the program. I'm hoping that the students who were actually there for this year, they get into the best of the universities, especially the universities that they want to get into, so that we can always claim success. And that will be very clear very soon. I know we have early college admissions coming up in the US in December, and then regular admissions, the regular deadline actually is in January, and the decisions will be coming in March. So I'm hoping we'll get a lot of success in the program, especially for the students, but I know it's a worth it program, because when our eldest son, who's right now in Georgetown University, when he was applying, it was a lot of, it's like a black hole. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what kind of essays to write. You don't know how the admission counselors, the college, counselors are going to look at the admission, or the admission officers are going to look at it. And now, at least going through that process, we know what it can take to make your application successful. So that's where, that's how this program was born. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, to me, to Dr. Amit Arora. Dr. Vastaris is a great resource, and he's a part of the program, and even Dr. Leilani. I know Dr. Leilani says she has nothing to contribute, but she has an amazing skill in terms of writing. I've seen her writing, I've seen her speech. Her oral written communications are amazing, and that's exactly what we want, right? Because in the college admission process in the US, you have to write essays and then you get interviewed. So you need all those great skills, right? I know Dr. Leilani is a great resource for us. So with that said, thank you. Thank you, everyone. It was lovely being here, and stay in touch. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amit and Dr. Anshu, for your speech. It's a great pleasure to have you again here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us here.
And now I will remind all the audience that we have a prize. By the end of the session, we'll give a coaching free seat for the best student of this semester. Okay, so keep online, and we will continue the presentation. Now, I will invite Dr. Karen to talk about the coaching program itself. Hello, Karen, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. Thanks for having me. And it's just so exciting to see everyone here together. All the coaches that are here, you guys are not just marathoners, but like ultra marathoners, because then after this call, we have an 11 o'clock coaching graduation. And so we'll see you all there and celebrate with you as well. So it's just a great time of year, and these are important days to all be together. I'll just take a few moments. I want to talk to you a little bit about the coaching program. So you have your coaches, you know them well because they've been with you every step of the way and giving you guidance on the clients and the reports, but then, how do I follow up with people, but still keep it friendly and keep each other accountable, all those things that happen on teams. They happen on teams that all of the professors are on this call today. We're still working on all of those types of issues as we work together. So it's just really nice that you get to work through the time zones together and problem solving and be creative and harness the diversity that you have together for creative, diverse ideas. So it's just wonderful to be a part of this community. I'm going to share my screen a little bit, Raphael, if you don't mind. I'll just show some basics.
I think you can share.
Great. All right. So I've got some overviews that I want to share with you all. The big picture, I don't know if this was covered. So let me just give a little bit of an overview, kind of like what Voss might do in giving you that grand picture. So you all are a part of Academy. And then when we look at the total group, so X Culture, right? The program that Boss sent an email out over 10 years ago saying, hey, does anybody else want to do a group project with me? Because all of my international business students really don't get to interact with people on an international basis, right? So then, right, dozens of people applied, and then we had professors that joined. So now when we look at just this last semester, over 6,000 students completed X Culture. So you're a part of that cohort. Notice that over 7,000 people were part of the program, but not everybody graduated. So there's, the finishing is the important part. As far as universities participating, 172 from all over the world, 202 professors. So these are mentors and professors that are really interested in giving a unique hands-on experience for their students. So this is the community that you are now a part of. As far as the global virtual teams, when you're on that team, right? When we divide out all of the teams, there's over 1,000 teams. So those of you that will receive recognitions, know that you will be a small number of teams that will receive maybe a best report or some other recognition as you go forward. You might be invited to the coaching program. You might be invited to symposias in the future. So you will definitely make a distinction. And just like the doctors Arora mentioned, these are things that you want to be able to put and articulate on your in your interviews. And so we can kind of help you with making sure that you're telling your story in a really compelling way, because you have a very unique experience that many managers that are in their 30s don't even have the opportunity. They might say, oh yes, we have clients in Belgium. Oh yes, I have someone in Ireland that I work with as a client. Have they ever been on a global virtual team like you have? Probably not. You really do have a distinction. So this is just really like an overview of what's happened this semester. And client companies, Boss always says yes, yes, yes. He'll always ask us too, hey, how many clients would you like? And I honestly have to say 5 to 7, because that's a lot as a professor to learn. You have to learn just like the coaches, right? Every single one of these. And then as a Academy student, as a global virtual team student, you have all those choices. And so sometimes a lot of choices is like walking into the cereal aisle, you've got a little bit of decision anxiety, or how do I choose between all of these great selections? But nevertheless, he has a hard time saying no, which is fantastic for the students, because you have so many choices between companies that are in different regions of the world, different products and services. So anyway, 13 is a big number. And we'll see what happens in 2022. As far as the coaching program goes, I'll give you a very quick overview, but this semester we started with 133 people. We'll finish out with over 100. It is a rigorous program, and so I want to give you a little insight to that. As far as our cohort, we have 36 countries represented. It's really an amazing collective of people. As far as the webinars go, there were 34 that were offered, and many of those were from our coaching group. And then I just have thousands of accomplishments, because there's a lot that goes on in the coaching program. So I'll show you a little bit of the webpage, and then I'll give you a preview of what the coaching program looks like. And then if any of the coaches that are here today want to talk about their experience as a coach, that would be really nice just to have a little exchange that way. But this is on the website right now, and we could throw this in the chat as well. But the website is up and ready to go. It just is our X Culture site, and then For Coaches is at the top. And so right now you can see the dates, and then this is our application. So once you click that, the application starts, and it will give you a little bit of direction ahead of time. If you've not seen this video, this was put together by a small team of people, Madalena right here, and then other coaches that participated. But it really is a great way to see other people that have participated in the coaching program and little testimonials on their experience within it. So this is when we went virtual. Coaches who successfully complete the coaching program. We'll start the coaching program. We're taking applications right now, and we'll start the coaching program, as you saw, in January, and we go all the way through May. And so all of the things that you will accomplish are listed here. I won't read through it with you, but you can take a look at the site yourself. Many of you are achievers and maybe ready for the next thing. So it's something to consider. It's also something to consider to talk to your coach mentors to say, what's really involved with this? And they will give you the inside story on, the highs, the lows, the work that's involved behind the scenes, the really interesting situations that you get to get exposure to. But before you coach others around the world, because some of you might say, I had such a unique experience. It wasn't perfect, but it was really great, right? But if I could just provide advice for others that are going through it, or help out in some different way, then this is the type of program that we would want to provide theoretical training first. So we set you up for success, so you understand how to handle those types of challenges. And so these are the different things that we cover together. And then there's the practical stage. And so lots of things that you will be working on as a young professional and developing your skills. Again, these are things that young professionals in early stage career probably don't have access to in their organization. So it gives you a real competitive edge. We do have some requirements. And so I have a feeling that of all the people that are on this call right now, that you would not have a problem meeting these typical requirements, because we just want to make sure that everybody really is dedicated to the task. It's not something that is a passive. There will be organizations, and it's perfectly fine. There might be some that you are engaged in at your university or your school where you're a member, but you're really not that active, right? It might be only the 4 people that are kind of lead in the organization that really make a lot of the things happen. You're just a member, and maybe you go to events and things like that. But when it comes to the coaching program, it really is a rigorous experience, and you have high levels of engagement. So if you like working with other people from around the world and doing a lot of small group work, then this is a great program to consider. We give you time requirements just to keep it real. It's a lot of work every week for a volunteer position, and you gain a lot of experience. So there's also a cost. You could take a look there. We do have, for returning coaches, the fee's always waived. For senior coaches, that's somebody that's been a coach at least once, but usually multiple times. And there's no fee for that as well. And then you can take a look a little bit more there. So that's just the website. And to give you a quick preview, this is what we're working on right now as far as the week by week timeline of the activities. So we start off January 8th, and then we have a week of activities, and we use Slack and we use Canvas to deliver the content. And then you graduate from all of these different requirements to make sure that you're prepared for success. And then we have the practical phase. And this is really where a lot of the interactive fun things happen. There's report evaluation. So just like professors from around the world, you will receive a small set of reports that you will score. And that will help give feedback. That's particularly important for the academy students. So we like to give as much feedback as possible, so they receive feedback. So we're really teaching you how to be a GA or TA or future teacher, where you'll be able to assess in a really kind but specific way on how to give people feedback that will help them grow and succeed. So that's a little bit about the program. And then we have all these kind of checklists. So you'll know, well, to get a certificate, so I am a certified global virtual coach. What does that really mean? Well, you would pass the 4 theoretical exams. There's a coaching scenario that you go through, and you have mentors to help you. There's surveys as we go along. And then there's a webinar that you create with a team, an info guide. Again, you get training along the way. So this might seem like a really big list right now, but we just take it one step at a time. And really, it's the grit and perseverance and working with your team that gets you through. So those were the really big things that I just wanted to share with you in a glance. I will stop my screen share right now. Hopefully it wasn't just too much of a waterfall of information, but I'm open to questions. Raphael, Joanne, Leon, Teas, Ania, I can't name everybody, sorry, but please share your experiences as being a coach, and let's take questions together if there are any.
Actually, we will have this part of in the session, but first we will ask students to share their experience. Right after, the coaches will share their experience. Okay, is that fine?
Fantastic.
Okay. Thank you, Karen, for sharing about the coaching program. It's really and also program because I already done, and I'm still helping a lot with the coaching program. So everyone who maybe wants to join our group, please apply for us. And
yeah,
maybe we can share the link, right?
I just want to tell you guys that without having coaches, we couldn't run programs like Academy. Like every person that has helped us run Academy have gone through the coaching program. The leadership, the camaraderie, the intellect that you guys gain from the experience, priceless. Like, I think it's much better than going through a university class, for example, because the growth that you experience just going through the coaching program, you can't get that from a regular class. So I really applaud, like Professor Karen Lynden is phenomenal. She's such a great leader, and she's so compassionate and helpful, you know, because we're all in it for the same thing, right? To help you guys become these amazing global citizens. So I just, you know, really big props to Professor Karen Lynden, because without her, we wouldn't have a successful academy program.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I would say that it's definitely a collective effort. And Raphael, Carlos, Drew, there's a group of people that make the world go round. And it definitely is something that when I joined the coaching program, I've been involved with X Culture for a while, but Raphael was part of this program, the coaching program, way before I was. And so it's just together, we kind of talk all the time about, we just create it to make it whatever makes sense for the current times and keep growing in ways that are smart for the professional development of the collective, you know, community. So it's whatever we want to make it every time.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for your words. Now I will invite a couple of students to share their experience. So Jigisha, are you there?
Yeah,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So hello everybody. My name is Jigisha. I'm 16 years old and I live in India. My overall experience with X Culture was really nice. I met so many wonderful people. I made so many friends. I learned so many things, and I loved all the weekly webinars. It was really fun to interact with all the people and getting to know about their cultures and their countries. I learned so many things through X Culture that will be useful to me throughout my life. And the coaches and Dr. Vas and Dr. B's advices, they will stay with me. And I loved hosting the cooking show for all of you. I enjoy cooking and baking, so it was really nice to cook for you live. I wish you could have tasted it. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jigisha. Thank you for sharing your experience. Now another student. Hello, Kevin. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. How are you?
My experience with exposure has been great, and as what we like, our Dr. Lirani and Dr. Lynden has said, coaches are really important. I would like to first of all thank you to my coaches, especially Emily, who's like probably listening, and Pooja over here, for helping me throughout the progress of this experience. Like without you guys, I probably would not be able to finish the program. And thank you to everyone who has been welcoming to the community, like especially communicating with you all has been a great experience. And for being in a science stream, I have never touched business, and this is the first time that I've probably touched anything with business, and it feels so great, and it's like a fun, an experience that will definitely last a lifetime. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Now, Pooja, who's the coaches that going to talk about their experience?
Beatrix.
Beatrix, where is Beatrix?
And Louise.
But I think that Louise is starting, but I can too if you want to. So the best part of this semester, most probably for me, were like the games and all the activities that were involving us. I don't know if everyone knows, but I myself, I'm kind of an introvert, and even for me, these were like engaging and kind of helped me to socialize more. And doing all of this like in a virtual world, I think that it's amazing. And maybe I think that that was the best part of this program this semester. Thank you.
Can I just say that that is kind of like a running thread, isn't it? Because Louise said the same thing before, Leon said the same thing before, and we have really been able to, you know, help develop these skills. You guys have these skills inside you. We just kind of pull them out. So don't ever sell yourself short. You've always been this amazing. It's just that now you have to show us.
Now you get to practice it in a safe place with people that all are like-minded, care about each other. So that's great. And I can be really introverted too. I can go a kind of, in different places, but I hear you, and it's a great place to stretch and feel safe about that.
Yeah. Jigisha, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I'm also an introvert, and before X culture, I don't think I could have talk to so many people right now and interact. It has really boosted my confidence.
Karen, we need to put that in our profile, in the X culture profile. We will help you become more extroverted.
Yeah, I didn't know about it because Digisha also talks a lot in Discord, so I thought that she was extroverted. That's
no.
Good. Okay, next one is Luisa, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, for me, it was really hard to pick my favorite memory because there were so many. But the one that stood out to me was like helping to organize a virtual tour to Kenya with the student, Gertrude. We did an amazing job. And for me, it was kind of a full circle moment because I gave like a virtual tour myself when I was a student. And yeah, it really like showed me how much I have grew to the program, and I was so nervous to give presentations in the beginning, and now I can pass on all that what I learned and how I changed as a person and give all that positive energy back. And also lastly, I want to like congratulate you all the students for passing the semester, and also for the students who were really kind and really made it really nice to work with them.
You are making me cry, Louisa.
Thank you, Luisa. Thank you, Luisa. Now we have a couple senior coaches to talk about. Ania, are you ready?
Yeah, so I guess I'll go first then. So when I texted in the group chat wanted to volunteer, I immediately volunteered. So my favorite memory would be for the coaches. We had our dice game. I hope you guys will receive your prizes soon because you guys are pretty far from me and I was stuck in a lockdown. I only got out of lockdown like 1 month ago. And I'm still online, but I hope you guys get your prizes soon. And I can't wait to do that dice game again with you guys since it was very fun. I'll do it in a more orderly manner next time, so everyone gets prizes. Okay, so I think Tejas is next.
Yep. So yeah, let me just switch my camera on. All right. So thank you for mentioning about the dice game, and I think it's not fair for me to mention one memory. So I'm going to do 3 really quickly. All right. So the first one was the virtual cooking class that I had alongside Ania. That was really fun because I got to show you guys part of my culture, part of my personality, and also got to hear about you guys. Got to hear about your takes, your interests, etc., etc. Now moving on to some things that the students might not be aware of, but the coaches will definitely know. So we, as Karen mentioned, organize webinars every single semester. And these webinars are fun opportunities for us to showcase some of our talents. So this time I worked on a particular webinar for a team which provides a podcast in regards to X culture. It's called Pioneer X. And we're just a bunch of friends who get together and we have a fun time discussing random stuff and gaining some insights. So some of you guys were able to attend that as well. And for those of you who did, that was probably my favorite webinar I have done up till now. I think lastly, definitely was all of the team meetings we had, be it for X Culture Academy, be it for X Culture coaching, be it with the students, etc. I think in each of those meetings, I was able to learn something different. So thank you to everybody who's been a part of this semester's journey, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Ania. Thank you very much, Tejas, for your words. It has been a long semester, but also fun, right? So thank you very much for sharing your experience. Now I will invite Joanne and Rabia to share their photo album of X Culture. Rabia?
Uh,
John?
all right, I'll screen share it.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can. Just give me a second so that I can screen share it.
Yeah, I think you can screen share. Yes, I'm seeing.
Just give it a second so it loads. So, hi everyone, I am Rabia Hanif and I am from Pakistan. I am our first time coach at X Culture, and I, along with my fellow coach Joanne, we worked on creating a photo album for X Culture so that we can keep the memories forever, because I think that we have created a bond with each other which is so close, and I would just call X Culture my online family, and I think that there should be something which we can look back to. So we just created an album to just collect all those memories. So yeah, Jan, you can continue telling about the contents.
Yeah, thank you, Rabia. So in this picture book, we have an introduction, a yearbook collating the members of academy events, and the coaches webinar. So this is basically an introduction to what X Culture is, what does X Culture do, and what do students tend to learn from X Culture. Yep, and introducing our wonderful founder and director of X Culture, Dr. Vaz and Dr. B.
So now it's time to meet the team at Academy. So first of all, it's our coordinators, Rafael and Annette. And then it's our senior coaches, and then our coaches. So all of the coaches, senior coaches and coordinators also added like a code which basically express themselves. So yeah. And then this is a Halloween party that was arranged by team F6. And then this is team E5, which happens to be my team, like my coaching team. And this is just like one of our casual meetings. Joanne, can you
next we have our academy students. So over 60 students submitted their photo into the picture book. And I must say that this semester, the students were just incredible. You guys have just made this such a fun and amazing journey. And truly I've learned so much from you guys, even as a coach.
Yeah, and also I would say that when we were creating the photo album, me and Joanne were saying this thing continuously, that all of the students are looking so good in their pictures. That like we are literally impressed.
Literally jealous.
Yeah, so they just look so good. They outdid all the coaches. All right, so now it's time for the academy events, and the first event is my personal favorite one, which is cooking class. As you all might know, I love eating. So first of all, we have Emily, who made apple pies, and then we have Gayatri, who made halwa. Then we had Kevin, who made nasi goreng, and Ania made halo halo. And then we have Jigisha, who made jalebi. And if you guys remember, then this particular cooking class was my personal favorite one, and it was amazing. And as I said, jalebi today, so yeah, you all need to have. And then we have Tejas, who made chicken tikka for the audience. And then obviously we had Gymkhana, which actually happened in the beginning of the semester. And then we have virtual tours. So two of my students actually won, Isa from Taiwan and then Gertrude from Kenya. They participated in the event. So I'm very happy about the fact that my students participated very actively. And then we have Marha from Pakistan. And since I'm from Pakistan, so this tour was kind of, close to my house.
Yep, so as mentioned before by Tejas, there were several webinars conducted by the coaches. So here are some pictures captured during those sessions. First up is Pioneer X. This was the opening event whereby we had a discussion about our school learning experience, and we got to know varying opinions and perspectives.
Yeah, and also if you guys don't know, so X Culture have a podcast called Pioneer X. So you guys should go and follow our Instagram accounts and our Spotify account, and don't forget to listen to our podcast. We will be releasing our episodes soon.
Next is Connecting Cultures, whereby we shared some creative activities that can be used to bond with your respective global virtual teams while getting to know each other's cultures. So next is the golden speakers. So some public speaking techniques and skills were shared, and some pro tips were given on how to tackle your own nervousness when speaking. So this was really an amazing event. I felt like, really brought out of my comfort zone. Yeah, so next we have the socials, who walked us through how to navigate around in LinkedIn. And it's to maximize our outreach and to expand our professional network online, which is quite important these days with our professional development. So that brings us to the end of the picture book. Cheers to such an amazing and fun semester.
So it was an amazing semester. I'm so glad to meet all of you, and I hope to see you guys back again next semester as students or as coaches. And that's all.
Thank you, Rabia. Thank you, Joan. I already said that, but that you guys did an amazing job with the photo album. It looks amazing. Thank you very much for doing that. Now we have the announcement of the best students of the semester. Okay, let me share my screen here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so we will give prize for the best 3 students of the semester. Okay, for the first one, we'll get a full tuition for the coaching program plus 30 minutes with Dr. Vaz. The second one will get a half tuition for the coaching program plus 30 minutes with Dr. B, and the third one will get a half tuition for the coaching program. Okay. So now we will present the winners. So how do I say this? Run the drums? Roll the drums?
No, we gotta do drum roll.
Drum roll, yes.
Are we actually gonna do it, or are we?
Yeah, drum roll. Third one. It's Riaz Miglani from India. Congratulations, Riaz. Are you there? Is Riaz there? I didn't check the participants.
Says yes.
She's there.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think I just allowed it.
Okay, I just send me an email and we can arrange this for next semester or the other. Okay, you have 1 year to use this kind of prize. Okay, congratulations. So drum roll again, guys. Where's the drum roll?
Yeah. So wait, do we want Riaz to say something first?
Okay, if she wants to. Are you there?
Hey guys, thank you.
Oh, I think she's lagging.
Yeah. Yeah, the bandwidth isn't there.
Oh,
Hey guys, can you hear me?
yes.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much. It is absolutely an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
How was your experience?
It was brilliant. I must say, I actually learned so much and it was great.
Yeah, we hope that you join us for the coaching program and be
Absolutely, I will do that.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you so much.
Drum roll again. The second one is Valerie Darmo from Indonesia. Congratulations, Valerie. Is Valerie in the audience?
Yep. So she's just going to be rejoining as a panelist, and yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Valerie, are you there?
Wait, I just promoted her to panelist, so she should be joining.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello, Valerie. Congratulations. Can you talk about a little bit about your experience?
Yes, it's been a great experience. Not everything has been absolutely smooth. It is a roller coaster ride for sure, but then it has been a really great experience for me as well.
Excellent. Remember, Valerie, that it's in the challenges where you grow the most. It's in the challenges where you grow the most. But we'll talk more about that in our 30-minute session.
Okay. Thank you, Valerie. Congratulations again. And drum roll again, guys, but louder now because the first place, right? So the first place goes to Satya Patra from India. Congratulations, Satya.
Congrats, Satya. Okay, so I've promoted him to panelist. He should be joining in a few minutes, or a few moments rather.
Okay. Just let's wait for Satya then. Yeah. Congratulations again, Satya. It was an amazing job that you did throughout this semester.
He's there, yep.
Hello, Satya. Can you please share your experience and what you're feeling right now? Hello.
Satya, can you hear us? Yeah.
Hey, oh my God. Thank you, everyone. It has been a great month, more like a 2 months of experience. Thank you, Tejas. Thank you, Rafael. Thank you, Rabia. Thank you, Dr. B. Thank you, Dr. Vas. And thank you all the coaches. I did not expect this. It was a very good experience for me, and I would love to join for the coaching program also.
Excellent, excellent. And you know, even though you didn't expect it, you deserve it because the team, you know, they all know and they picked you. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. B.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Oh. Now, actually, that's it for the final event. We've done a lot of things for this semester. It was a pleasure to help you guys with all this course, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Now I give the word to Dr. B.
And Professor Lynden, again, every time I go through these graduation ceremonies, it's so exhilarating, and it really does kind of reinforce my purpose as a professor and as your director, that, you know, what I do in X Culture is so much more than just helping you guys with your projects or helping you guys interact. It's helping you guys actually evolve, and you can see it at the end product. All of the challenges and the obstacles that you had to overcome as you go through X Culture is preparing you for something greater and bigger. And, you know, the more successful you can accomplish these small tasks, then later on, when you are posed with a much bigger problem, you're going to be able to address that, and you're going to be able to approach it in a enlightened way because you've already gone through it. So I hope that you take all of what you learned and you put it to good use. So Professor Lynden, you have any last minute advice for our students?
I'm just so impressed with everything that you've done. It's just a pleasure to be here and get to see you all, get to see some of your faces. The slideshow was incredible, just to try to put all of the experiences that you've had for all these weeks. And I think it's just a great moment for everyone to understand. Yeah, we went through some challenges. Maybe it wasn't perfect. That's great. Boss says that to us all the time. He says it with like that little smirk on his face, right? He's like, if it was easy, then we wouldn't learn anything. So every time that you get to stretch a little bit and you get to have a community like this, my professor community that I have in X Culture is just incredible. It's really one of the joys of my life. And so I hope that this opens up all opportunities for each of you. So great job.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Dr. B. And also, if you guys want to join us again for next semester as a student, I will share the link here. You guys can apply for next semester again, okay? And also for Valerie and Satya, I will contact you guys to schedule the meeting with Dr. B and Dr. S, okay? So stay tuned to your email. So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for this event. Okay, yes, we can do
it. Everybody, put your camera on. Camera on.
Wait, I'll take the photo. You guys just do the thing. So whoever is part of the panelists and they can switch their cameras on, just do it. That'll be okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm inviting more coaches that are in the audience so they can join as well.
So till then, you say Riyaz, Satya, if you guys could switch your cameras on and also do it, that would be appreciable.
Yay.
And then Tejas, I'll take the photo so you can
Alright,
can pose.
I'll take one first, and so that
Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
All right, so everyone, if you just switch your cameras on and do the X and say and shout X culture if you want. But okay, so in 3, 2, 1, smile.
X culture.
X culture.
Right.
All right, they'll do one more. So Tejas is in it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay, got it. All right.
Hey. Peace and love, everybody.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.